Road trip movies are great. No matter how silly or wild they can be, they're always a comforting watch. They're familiar, but Ethan Coen's Drive Away Dolls has more flair than most. The film was always going to be an interesting viewing experience, mostly because it's the first feature Coen wrote and directed without his brother. The result is occasionally funny, with the plot and characters intriguing enough to maintain engagement throughout. However, Drive Away Dolls can sometimes feel contrived. It's certainly not Coen's strongest film, though it is saved by an especially fantastic performance by Geraldine Viswanathan and a fun story. Geraldine Viswanathan steals the show in Drive Away Dolls. Marion, Viswanathan, becomes the one you can sympathize with and understand the most. Marion is the only person who reacts in such a way that you know the film's entire plot is fairly ridiculous. She is also the one who goes on a true journey throughout the film, shifting from someone who is not as open emotionally or sexually to someone who decides to go with the flow. This is, in large part, because of Jamie, Margaret Qualley, but even though we don't get a lot of Marion's backstory, there's enough to provide us with a picture. Viswanathan has always been great at balancing humor, sarcasm, and emotional drama, and she expertly oscillates between all of these things in Drive Away Dolls. Qualley's character isn't provided as much in terms of depth. Jamie is definitely more one-dimensional, and occasionally comes off like a stereotypically written man, only there to show off the wild side of things to Marion. It can be a bit over the top when you realize there isn't too much else going on there internally, and Qualley's performance tends to grate on the nerves after a while. Of course, that doesn't mean Qualley doesn't get in a few good laughs and fun moments. She can be quite good in her scenes with Viswanathan, but there's something about her performance that doesn't entirely work. Drive Away Dolls is ultimately an experience that takes us on a reliably entertaining, and sometimes daunting, journey, but also falls short in several instances. The film is a case of Coen attempting something a bit absurd and wild, but there are stylistic gaps and somewhat questionable editing choices that stall the film from rising to its full potential. The film can be a bit immature, especially when it comes to its dick humor. Drive Away Dolls is a cool 84 minutes, but it feels longer. Jamie and Marion's varying and compelling experiences keep it from falling into a complete slog. At the same time, the queer romance at the center of the film could have been a lot stronger. It's not given as much time to breathe, the plot taking precedence over the characters' developing relationship. Scenes dedicated to another character took me out of the film because they always landed between other pressing moments, derailing some of the momentum. Drive Away Dolls has moments of genuine humor and absurdity. Coen's film, which was co-written by his wife Trisha Cook, can also be delightfully unfiltered and weird in the best ways. The film's penchant for silliness is what helps keep it afloat. Small, but nonetheless memorable, roles played by Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal pave the way for some of the most intriguing and unhinged moments in the film that will surely make you chuckle a few times. Its outrageousness certainly earned a few laughs from me, though the humor was admittedly tame overall. Most of the film's excitement stems from the silliness permeating everything. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, which is a part of why it can be so fun. Drive Away Dolls isn't entirely a run-of-the-mill road trip movie, but it does have the trappings of one. There is a lot of nonsense baked into it, and that might not be for everyone, but it's the film's saving grace, especially by the end. Coen mixes a crime drama with road trip humor that doesn't always land, but remains entertaining despite everything. I could forgive some of the issues because the film is still having a good time with the material, imperfect as it is.